Spider-Man flies up attached to Titanium Man, and he's trolling like usual. Oh shit, I can see Thomas Jefferson's house from up here. Insect. Actually, spiders aren't insects, they're arachnids. But lots of people make that mistake, so you shouldn't feel bad about it. But I'm sorry, the whole Boris Badenoff accent is just too much. Come on, say moose and squirrel. Just once, I know you want to. No? Okay, then tell me why you wanted to kill Mr. Stark. And he attaches a web to the Washington Monument, stopping him from flying away. But he tears the web with a blast from his boot, and he flies away. All Spider-Man could think about is if he damaged the Lincoln Memorial. For the next 10,000 years, that shit would be coming out his allowance. As he's searching for Titanium Man, he looks up at Abraham Lincoln. Wow. Bro forgot he was in the middle of a battle and started examining this shit. But as he's reading, his spider senses go off. And Titanium Man hits him with a mean-ass tackle. Now it is I who will have you. And he lifts Spider-Man up, and now die, throwing him to the ground. But Spider-Man recovers and starts flying. Titanium Man thinks the job is finished, but Spider-Man appears above him, landing on top of him, making him spiral downwards. And together they crash into a building. Americanzi, that shit talking is not funny. I will kill you now. And he starts choking Pete. Spider-Man's like, damn, he's faster than he looks. It is right that you should die now, for you are soon to be an extinct breed, leaving your country defenseless. My employer believes that when Tony Stark is dead, there will be no one to speak for your kind, and your own government will hunt you down and eradicate you, which is only fitting. Since the fall of the Soviet Union, I and others have been forced to survive on our own, without support as mercenaries, taking whatever job came along. It has been hard, but when my people were contacted in secret for this job, I knew this would be a pleasure. I had only to wait for his arrival and then... What? Just wanted to say... Surprise! And he stabs Titanium Man in the face with his spider arms. Damaging his helmet. And while he's damaged, Spider-Man punches him in the face. Boom! Then hits him with a left. Then starts mollywopping him with the fastest combo of all time, breaking that armor down. Titanium Man backs up. Enough! He's getting his ass whooped. It's time to flee the scene. Spider-Man peeps this and tries to grab him before he's gone, but his web misses him by a little bit, and he gets away. Spider-Man's like, Tony should have gave me them damn boots. He looks around and sees civilians watching him, and he looks up, and don't come back! The next day, we see Tony talking to Congress again. They like, we appreciate you coming back after what happened yesterday. Thank you, Senator Dickerson. But if it wasn't for Spider-Man, I probably wouldn't be here right now. Demonstrating you believe the value of unencumbered superhumans? Yes, but not in the way you think. The attack on me yesterday was neither random or ill-considered. It was a deliberate attempt to interfere with the deliberations of this committee and the outcome of the proposed Superhuman Registration Act. This committee must bear in mind that America's enemies are not bound by any rules made here. They will attempt to exploit those rules, however well-intended, for their own dark purposes. The attack on me yesterday was only the first volley in that program, and he pulls out 4K footage of what Titanium Man was saying to Spider-Man, and he plays the full thing for Congress, and he basically tells them this step would be dangerous for all the superhumans, and it's exactly what their enemies want. The senator's like, this recording's mad convenient. I have to raise the question, how do you know it's authentic? I can answer that one, Senator. I was there. I can vouch for it. And there's something else I'd like to say to this committee. Tony Stark's like, bruh. And he tells him it would be simpler and more legal if guys like me were registered. The problem is that after registration is always regulation. You're all good guys, but if you had to start deciding what sorts of things super should get involved with, then you start eliminating the things they should not get involved with. In your well-meaning opinion. But guys like me get involved with things sometimes because nobody else will. Because it's not in the rule book, or it's politically inconvenient, or it's too weird, or it's simply because nobody else cares. The government, the big corporation, the money guys, they all have plenty of people willing to put it all on the line to defend them. But somebody on the edge, somebody in trouble, the kind of guy wiser minds would say should be left to solve his own problems, who else does he go to? Lots of other super guys live in the shadows because what they do is stuff you'll never, ever want to know about, because you'll never sleep well again. Leaving them alone to operate as they see fit gives you deniability and lets them dive in where logic would say stay away. So maybe the best solution would be a kind of Good Samaritan law, like they have for drivers, where you can protect everybody when one person dives in to do something to help, while everybody else just drives away play fast. All the senators look at each other. You make some interesting and compelling points, son. Thank you, sir. I wasn't finished. Yes, sir. As I said, interesting points. But if you want them to go on the record, if you want them to be considered, you must remove that mask, sit in the witness chair, and swear your testimony under oath, meaning that you will have to provide this committee with your full name and a place of residence. Are you willing to do that, son? Hell nah, I can't. And that, son, is exactly why this legislation isn't going away. This is a nation of laws, and those laws are meaningless without the ability to enforce them equally. You may be above the ground, son, but you are not above the law. That superpower we allow to no one in this republic. Spider-Man's like, yeah, I'm gonna get up out of here. Good idea. After that, Tony wraps up in there and meets up with Peter. Hey boss, I was thinking about my yap session there, and if you want to fire me, no. You spoke your mind about something important. Republics die when people stop doing them. Main thing is, regardless of what is actually allowed on the record, we gave them a lot to think about. So you think we stopped them? No, but bearing anything to turn public opinion around, we've muddied the waters enough to slow down the process. We buy a year here, a year there, and sooner or later these things die out on their own. Peter also tells Tony he got one more thing on his mind. Peter has some suspicions about that Titanium Man situation and thinks it might have been orchestrated by Tony. But Tony's like, nah, I ain't do nothing. Then later we see Titanium Man in the woods and Iron Man appears before him. You have the money right here in unmarkable bills as your agency specified. Mr. Stark told me to tell you that your cooperation was both appreciated and well-timed. Tony set that whole shit up, and after he gets the cash, he flies up out of there. Later, we see Peter in the crib, and he's waiting on MJ to get out the shower. Peter, you had a long day with a lot of stress. How about you turn on the news? That'll put you to sleep. So he turns on the TV and starts watching the Yankees game. But then there's an emergency announcement.
To our viewing audience, we're just getting confirmation, but according to the AP, there's been a disaster in Stamford, Connecticut. Initial reports are indicating at least 600 have been killed and countless more badly wounded. According to authorities on the scene, the person responsible for all the devastation is that right? Who or what is Speedball?
That is the moment that starts the Civil War. You will see how that event goes down in the next part. On that note, I'm gonna see y'all boys and girls next time.